the golden rule of like what's for you is for you. Like it's not gonna miss you.
It's not gonna miss you. You're gonna get the opportunity.
Exactly.
It's just if you wanna drown yourself mentally in life with
what if, what shoulda, coulda, woulda,
that wanna dim the pain that you're dealing with from the past. Sometimes I tell people this. Use that for the strength. Not let me do more prescription drugs. Let me drink more alcohol. I don't want to feel these pain.
Man.
Well, use that as strength.
Cause you gotta deal with that.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
In our society right now, because you can do these things to not think about stuff and to make you feel good for that night, but you ain't doing it just for that night.
Exactly.
What happened? You get addicted. Now you're doing it every night. So now you what you are. So all the focus you probably had to get out of it.
Exactly.
No one but God and yourself can get you out of that hole that you continue to build.
Amen. Welcome to another episode of Kickin with JB. Today I have the legendary man himself. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you introduce yourself, but I know I got so much to say about you, but I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me on, JB. My name Ronnie Fields, of course, Chicago legend. Played professional ball for over 18 years across the world. Right now, run basketball program, training, skill work, mentoring, do speaking events and stuff for, a lot of different people as well. And, that's what I'm doing right now to retirement.
Yes, sir, man. So like he said, Chicago legend. And basketball is so big in Chicago. I feel like people don't really realize that how big it is because, we kind of got that Mount Rushmore of like legends. You know what I'm saying? We got the Doc Rivers,
yes.
The D Roses, the Ben Wilsons, and then obviously you up there too. So it's just like I remember I was watching something. It was saying like back in your day. So when was you in high school? You was like
92 to 96.
So obviously you was in the prime Jordan era. What I'm saying? So they were saying because you played with Kevin Durant.
Kevin Garnett.
So I said that it was harder to get a ticket to a Farragut Academy basketball game than a Michael Jordan basketball game.
Because I think at the time of Jordan doing it so much, and for me, I'd rather go at the time late to go watch him play than watch myself at the time. But
yeah,
I think it was just a Chicago kid doing it, even though, like you said, the Bulls, but doing it or some of the things that he was doing at that time.
Exactly.
People didn't want to miss when they were so close to it already. So at the time, it was hard to get tickets.
100%.
Because
it's a high school gym. You know what I'm saying?
It's a high school gym.
They can't let everybody in there, man. So how was that? Like just being so young, you was on top of the world because you was the number one rated player in high school, and just doing the things you was doing at such a young age. Was it natural to you? Like what was your training regimen like? So how was that? Like when you picked up a basketball, was it just always just?
It started the crazy part about some things is hard to explain when it just naturally come when you enjoy doing something every day, and I think you look forward to it. For me, it was just like, oh, guys, y'all playing? Oh, I want to go to the playground. Yeah. Oh, y'all playing? I want to come over. Or you know what? Let me get up. Oh, the street lights are, oh, man, let me get to the court. Or before school starts.
Yeah.
And then the little leagues the older man had. So it was just like, I don't know, I was just enthused and keep playing with those guys.
Yeah.
Even if it was playing with adults, getting a couple minutes here. It taught me so much.
Yeah.
And from there, just, I continued to get better and better just by playing and watching. Then I started watching a lot of NBA games with Jordan and Dominique and even Dr. J and Magic. And then I go out to the playground and try a lot of those same moves.
Yeah.
And then I started getting good at it. And then from there, like I said, every year I continue to get better. My confidence continued to build.
Yes, sir.
And then the toughness, of course, the area we grew up in was just like, you play out there, you better not call no fouls. So you got to learn to play when it's 32, you got 5 dudes guarding you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, okay, man, I got to throw this ball up. So it forced you to work on a lot of different things to try to get the game-winning bucket. So that helps. That helped me a lot.
100%. Just playing in the playground. Man, I don't even think kids play 32 nowadays, or 21.
Kids ain't going to no playground.
Yeah.
It's either too hot for them, or the wind blowing a little too much.
Yeah.
So, and then when they go inside a gym now, I mean, they not really working on anything. They just sitting there just, you know, I mean, to just play against each other. And
exactly.
Trick shots.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, everybody
gonna get better.
Everybody trying to be Steph Curry, trying to master the 3-ball.
Oh my goodness.
But no. So like you said, you was the highest rated player. You was rated above one of the arguably the best players in the world, and that's Kobe Bryant in high school.
Yeah.
Out of Chicago kid, man, like getting all the attention in the world. So how did you manage that as, you know, such a young kid having that much attention? Because they said you was more like you was known on the streets like Oprah and Mike. You know what I'm saying? So like, how was that? Because I know that's tough.
When you young, like I think at the time it's like for any little kid, you know how you go somewhere and you're in a store and you like want something, your parents say you can't have it, but you know you really want it.
Yeah.
But then when you in a situation that with your skill is like your payment to people like, hey, oh sure you can have this, oh sure you want that, all that. So you was like caught up in that world just off of just looking at the excitement you put on these people's face.
Yeah.
Playing. So how I handled it, just, you know, I enjoyed it, you know, at times. And this is the thing. Being young and getting all the attention, sometimes you can be humble. And times where you need to be humble. Yeah. If you take advantage of things too much.
Yep.
So, you know, for me it was a balance of both. But I think overall I handled it well enough to become the person I am today from learning from those situations.
Wow. That's a bar. Because I feel like a lot of kids nowadays, we live in an attention generation right now. You know what I'm saying? We were just talking, you kind of y'all started that. Y'all like pioneered it, but y'all didn't have to live in it. You know what I'm saying? Because now you see these kids coming out of high school, they got millions of followers, millions of followings already, and they're famous. Like, so like I feel like that's tough on a kid.
It's tough on the kid to this point. I think it's a good thing and bad thing. For me, the bad thing, I think, for the kids in terms of the following of kids that's duplicating something in terms of, like, if that's their career, if they have a true next-level talent in it, or just love to play. Yeah. And for some, you know, strange reason, they may not be physically able to do and grow to that level in that field. But it's like, say, for instance, you watch a ball player, you say Zion Williams in high school, or these guys doing these moves, or LaMelo Ball, that grew 6'7" and had that skill to play at the next level. Yep. But you 5'8", 5'9", and the odds are not in your favor. But what you do is you get caught more focused on trying to make highlight tapes, and do those things instead of really honing on the skills that you need to do on there to be successful. Wow. So what happened, kids figure, if I make a tape, regardless of if it's, I'm not that type of player, I can just get the attention instead of looking at, I actually want a shot. Yeah. And that's the problem, because everybody want to put a tape together now.
Exactly, because everybody want to get the most likes and stuff like that. But like pushing it forward, so You are a person that has had a lot of adversity. So like what? So you said you played 18 years professional basketball. So what? So obviously, what was your process like after high school? So for the people who don't know,
well, for me, with the incidents being young and going through what I did, it was more so being young at times. Like I say, you can be a little bit naive to how serious certain things that transpired in your life. Yes, sir. That you start looking to another opportunity. So not thinking it's that bad, but even though when you look back, like, that is bad. Yeah. But then it's like, it puts you in the mindset to continue to focus on the next step. It's just like I tell people, hey, that was a bad quarter, man. You better get ready for the next quarter. Yep. Or you had a bad half. Prepare for the second half. Exactly. So I had to, I live my life by that. Okay. Moving forward on, like, I can't look back. Yeah. I can learn from it, humble myself even more from every opportunity that I got.
Yeah.
And I think moving forward from this situation, through all of that, it made me stronger on everything that I wasn't prepared for.
Yeah.
And I walked into. I had to be ready mentally to go through if it was being in another country by myself at 18.
Yes, sir.
Learning different ropes, even going to certain countries where it's dangerous. All those things I had to endure, you know, and play through or, you know, like try to be the best player that I can and continue to strive and be, you know, come out on top at the end. And I think going through some of that in some of these countries, it helped a lot because you'll be surprised some of the things you see. And basketball is not the same in every country.
Really?
No. Everybody had different styles, different interpretation on what they want you to do. Some may fit you, some not.
Yeah.
All those things. Every year you just have to hope if you sign 1-year deals, 2-year deals, that you're going somewhere where it fits you and the team. So
so that is a wild concept because like you said, like playing in those different countries because I'm going to play in Canada now and that's a different game than, you know, just playing right here, and that's only, you know what I'm saying, it's still a different country, so just it's a lot different game than the NFL, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely different. And then I even got friends right now. One's playing in Japan, and I got another homie playing in Spain right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, and I've had friends who played in Germany and different places of that nature. And I really want to go there also because that was one of my future questions because I feel like I really want to go there and just, like, you know, learn a new culture, learn a new, you know what I'm saying? Because like you said, like the game could take you so many places, but it's just a matter of, like, are you willing, and then, like, are you open-minded? Because like you said, being so young and going to a different, like you said, 18. Yeah. Like, I don't know if I could have handled that at 18. Like, you know, I'm 26 now. I plan on going down there to like a couple years from now. But like 18, how was that as an 18-year-old kid? Like, yo, I'm picking up by yourself. Like like none of your friends was coming with you. Like
none of that, no one. That's me and the agent at the time.
Yeah,
and then he'd leave.
Wow.
But I think the thing is like I said, is
like you had some crazy mental toughness.
That's what it came down to succeed.
Yes, sir.
To get to where I'm at.
Exactly.
And it's easy when things start to see like dark, and you like, man, what's going on, man? To let your mind go down that place,
go down that rabbit hole.
But for me, it was just like the next day gonna be better.
Wow.
The focus will be better. And that's what ended up happening. To each day I start realizing when you start turning your life in a different direction for the best, not for yourself, your family, the people around you, and can remain positive. Even when days you be like, man, I'm doing what the right things, it still may be like a setback.
Exactly.
The point is just keep believing that's just a little glimpse and keep moving forward. And then you just continue to try to go down the right path and let everything else take care of itself. And then once I start understanding and seeing how those things work in life, that's how I start moving forward. Even if it's like, oh, man, you had a bad day. I'm like, yeah, I felt that, you know, a little bit in me.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I got the next day to look forward to. And that's just life in general. I don't care if you have a bad day of sales. You might have a next week, it might be a better day. So I was able to, you know, mentally fight through all those different, you know, obstacles.
Yeah, nah, that's crazy. So where do you think you got that mental toughness? Just growing up in Chicago, or
growing up in Chicago, and a lot from my mom,
yes,
you know, as well. You know, just dealing with a lot of things she did, and battling and being the strong mom she was to put, you know, us and our, you know, my brother, my sister in the best situation.
Yeah, and
we draw from that. You know, like we all had a lot of adversity to fight through. But seeing is just like, I always tell people this. As I got older and you get wiser, once you're willing to pay attention to decisions that you made in the past, good or bad, that you learn from, is you gaining this wisdom in life. But the number one thing about that is when you're going through those things, it's like, where do you know, you continue to draw all this strength and that time. And that's where I said the number one thing in life that the Lord has granted me was not just my physical ability, because it's a lot of players that had a lot of great ability, and mentally when they failed, they was not able to get back up. For me, amen, the straightest strength is my mind. That's an ability from a talent standpoint that I would take that was more important than my physical basketball skill.
Wow. Yeah.
Is the strength to fight through adversity, through all the difficult things that I endured, some self-inflicted, and some just was in the path. Yeah. In life. So that helped me a lot.
Man, that's a word and its own. I feel like I can take that because it's some dark days. I don't know what the hoop journey is like, but I know like as a football player as an athlete, just that grind, and I feel like because we hit with so much you're not good enough.
Yes.
You don't fit this system.
No, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe if you was an inch taller. Maybe if you was a little bit faster, you know what I'm saying? Maybe if you was, weighed this much so many times. Because I'm reading this book right now. It's called The 4 Agreements. Okay. And it said, be impeccable with your word. And the second agreement is don't take anything personal.
Yes.
So it's they said they had this one thing, like if somebody walked down the street on you and said you're stupid, like that's not you, that's them. You know what I'm saying? Them. That's how they feel about themselves. But if you make that agreement that you agree with that the only thing that you're going to agree with is only thing that someone else says is what you agree with.
Yes.
So if someone says that you're stupid and you agree that you think that you're stupid, you're going to make that agreement. So you're obviously going to, go and think that you're stupid.
That's true.
But I just feel like that's what's so tough about being an athlete, because you're constantly hit with that. You constantly different coaches, different players, because you're critiqued every single day. How you move, how you react, how you deal with people, because you can't even be a normal person.
At times, well, the thing about and this is was the mental strength comes in terms of your innate ability inside to process all that information.
Yes.
And when your opportunity comes, you change all those doubts.
Wow. Facts.
And that happened with the kid Isaiah Thomas that played in the league. That didn't happen with quite a few ball players that I know, and even some football players that I had seen.
Yeah.
Where you just need the opportunity, saying like Malcolm Butler.
Exactly.
Every time, he come out of nowhere. He was at home working at Foot Locker somewhere, and the Patriots called him. But when he going through the whole process, he's not long enough. He's not tall enough.
Exactly.
He's not the fastest.
You didn't go to the big school.
You didn't go to the big schools.
Yeah.
But the opportunity from all that work and the belief, if it's there, if it's for you, and that opportunity come, that's when you prove. And I'm going to tell a story about a player you need to look up. Was short, real little. His name Earl Boykins, coming from Eastern Michigan.
Yeah.
Played in the league probably about 10, 12, 13 years.
Damn.
If you look at the size of this guy, you be like, okay, man, he little in Spud Webbs.
Yeah, smaller than Spud Webbs.
Oh, yeah. Listen to Earl Boykins. You would be like, this dude played in the league like that?
The NBA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Played with Denver for a while. Played with Washington. And that's when that was one of my teammates.
Yeah.
But his work ethic, his attention to detail.
Exactly.
Knowing where to get to on his spots on the floor. And he, he ended up having a good professional career.
100%.
And that's why I said it's just you continue, when people say those things, this is what you do when you find yourself in that situation.
Yeah.
That's fuel what I admire so much with Jordan and the Kobe's. For anything, and my number one guy is Tom Brady. For anything in terms of a person doubts you, and I always tell people to look at the Brady 6. And they like, why? I say, because a lot of people, y'all look at Brady in terms of winning Super Bowls and having a model wife, but y'all really don't know that man's story.
Yeah.
That man was 199th pick, but not only that, they clown him on his picture, his combine, his body build, his non-speed.
Yeah.
The man was listening at the drive with his dad, watching the drive with his dad, and he was in there and he started crying I guess I'm going to have to be a car salesman because he didn't think he was going to get picked.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And the number one thing when he got there, I heard a video soundbite, and he walked up to the owner. He's not even on the team yet. And the man told the owner, this is the best decision you ever made. And you look 20-some years later and what this man has done.
Look what he done now.
And I can say I can keep a chip on my shoulder throughout so many years of so many doubters.
Exactly.
And still succeed and be like, bam, at least I succeeded and proved it wrong.
100%.
But this man's still doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know how big that chip is, but to keep doing it, and the man is my age.
Yeah, dog got a boulder.
So it's just like you can turn a lot of those different things. It's just the right attitude, man.
100%. So I feel like that's so big, the attitude. And I feel like your attitude was great because we didn't get into it, but like you had gotten into a bad car accident. We was talking about it beforehand. How most people,
oh my God,
it could have been so much worse. But I feel like you were a half full more than a half empty kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? Like it could have been so much worse. But you was like, I'm just happy I can walk again.
Man, that's the truth. Looking at that thing, and this is the thing, I think the scariest thing about that accident is I didn't know how I ended up in the back seat. That was just me.
Oh.
And for a situation, it seemed like I woke up to realize, not realizing certain movements, if I kept doing certain things, I would have been paralyzed. Yes, I didn't know I had a crack. You know, it's the adrenaline running at the time is 3 a.m.
Yeah.
You adrenaline running, you just realize so it's raining. You're not realizing all that stuff coming out of your face. That's blood. You cut open. So you don't know, but the adrenaline at the time, and then they get there, you hearing these things like, ooh, y'all got some in time, stabilize him. He was just close to being paralyzed. So when you hear all those things and then you watch people that didn't make it through those things, you mad? Like, say, oh, man, I'm mad. That was my shot to play in the NBA. Nah, I ain't looking at it like that.
Exactly.
You know, at the end of the day,
and a lot of people would have.
I never blame no one. And that's why I say I look at the thing from like, I'm thankful for the opportunity to still make an impact in a lot of ways.
Exactly.
Still play the game and excite people around the world.
Sir.
As well.
Wow, that's crazy. But yeah, because that's a half empty kind of because a lot of dudes. I feel like in your day, it's a lot more dudes that's like, because medicine wasn't as good back in the day, so they get that one knee injury.
It's it.
Yeah, that's
Randy Livingston was a player out of Louisiana. Got a chance to play in the league, but not at his best.
Yeah.
That those 2 knee injuries back then kind of derailed what he could have done.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, my goodness. Because back then, you injured your knee, you that's a wrap. Teams like, ain't no way. Now, you injured your knee, Dak Prescott, hey, let me give you $160 million or an ankle or some break.
Get right, yeah.
Yeah, it's so different. Sports medicine, it came a long way, man.
100%, man. So how was it you played with legends, Hall of Famers? You were a legend in your own, but like because we were talking about your what was it? Your the All-American team you had. It was you, Kobe Bryant, Jermaine O'Neal, Tim Thomas. You played with Mike Bibby, and you played the year before you played with obviously KG, which is crazy in high school.
Nike, with AI.
With AI. You know what I'm saying? So how was it playing with these legends? And you said you're still friends with a lot of those guys.
Yeah, a lot of those guys, like, we see each other and it's just love as usual. Like, and it's like, for me, it's so great to see the new school and we want to say sort of old school still show the love and respect to one another. Today from the great players, because LeBron is almost in that middle, new and old. But the skill level and the talent of the guys today, and just coming together for not just a basketball, the cause, but all the other things that they collaborated on with the Black Lives Matter movement and all these things they had done together, and to still see we still intact with the game. Tim Thomas doing his thing out in Patterson, New Jersey. Bibby doing his thing out in Arizona. Jermaine and Stack out in Texas. So, and then Kobe had his academy and all the stuff that he was doing, in his family. So we still, from back then, and it's so many other guys, Ron Artest, who was back there in camp then, the Collison twins, who was assistants now, one with the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
So back then in that era of camp, it was a lot of players, boy.
Yeah.
A lot of players. And it's just, good to see a lot of those guys still in touch with what we grew up doing and the impact we made in this basketball world.
Yeah, and y'all still continuing to make an impact because, like you said, you coach Little League teams now, right? So you helping kids now. So is that what you do now?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things I do now. When I decided when I retired, sitting down, getting a chance to watch how different it was with whether if it's local travel, AAU travel, spring and summer ball was not at the magnitude it is when I played.
Yeah.
Which is good that you open it up for more kids to have opportunity. Mm-hmm. The bad is the non-teaching and the will to work hard and just, when you out there, it's like a lot of kids developing to the point where just give them a chance to either play in high school for something. They may not play in college, or if they got the ability, try to give them every opportunity. Mm-hmm. So we try to, with the Ronnie Fields Elite Basketball Program, we not only mentor, we train, and also we coach and develop a lot of these young kids.
Yeah. Wow. No, that's amazing. So, what would you say that you've learned from the mistakes you've made? Like, how's that groomed you to the person you are today?
Because at the end of the day, for me, anything in life that, as you move forward and what you see with so many things I encounter, a lot of it is traveling abroad of so many mean things can be done to people. People can be in difficult situations where it forces, yourself to not only just be humble but learn and caring.
Yeah. Regardless
of what things that a person may have done to you or you have done to someone, it's forgiveness, it's learning that sometimes a person can be doing things in life that they that you just can't get over, that may transpire to where it affect how they treat you or how they are with you.
Yeah.
So for me, every time I seen that, and then I look at the, just the blessing the Lord has gave me to continue to live and make an impact. Amen. You never hold that against no one. You just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
And always, regardless if you having a spat, it can be a friend, be a wife, it can be a girlfriend, it can be a brother, it can be a sister. Mm-hmm. It can be whatever heated exchange you had at moments where at the time you may feel, you know what, I can't stand, or this, all these things you want to say. But then you got to sit back as a person that have a heart, a conscience, regardless. At times, if you want to get the best of a person because of what they made you feel, and in life, you also got to look back and say, if you had to get to that point to think like that, you're not growing as a person to look past those things and not realize to show, say for better words, be a bigger person in the right way. Yeah. Not to do it to be like you bigger than that person to that, per se, but to show you still care regardless of what you may have said or what you done or how you was. Look, I still care about you. Still be there regardless of the situation. If you feel it or not, that's just who I am.
Wow.
So sometimes when you that way and it's genuine, other people, it helps them reflect on themselves on what type of person I really are. If I know it, we went this back and forth, but this person has said this or done this, but this person still cares and they're still there.
Yeah.
So all of those things you see once you encounter those, regardless of who it can be with, like I say, family, friends, relationships, you start to see more.
Yeah.
Your wisdom starts to grow even more in life and situations, and those things that I've been through helped me become the person I am today.
Exactly. So if you can go back and talk to your younger self, like what advice would you give your younger self?
For me, if I go see when people do ask that question, this is how I look at it. Advice for my younger self, without the mistakes, not learning to know what I can become today, to give this wisdom and understanding to people or youth or just in general, because I wouldn't have known it. Some people can go through those things and it can drag them down that rabbit hole.
Yep.
So they just give up.
Yeah. And
there's like none you can teach besides, hey, this is what he kept doing and he in jail. You can't say that to teach a young kid or what you going to give them.
100%.
So for me, it was fortunate that I took the the right mindset out of those situations to be better as a father, as a coach, as a brother, just moving forward. And those things help me.
Yeah. So obviously, paying it forward to the younger generation is very important to you.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, do you pass on a lot of like those mistakes you made, or just advice to younger kids so they don't make those same mistakes? I feel like that's the best. That's the best like way to, I guess, receive something, is to learn from somebody else's mistakes, so you don't gotta make those mistakes for yourself.
Exactly. And this is what I tell people. Dealing with not having a father. So you look at the impact of some of the things that it can make, whether if you a young lady didn't grow up with one, or a young man that didn't grow up with one, or wasn't there, that just didn't give a care. Some fathers can care, but it can be so much damage done between the mom and dad where it's hard to try to fuse it, and then you got to let the kid grow up and then explain to him from both sides, and hopefully that the kid be rejected and didn't make those mistakes, and he matured to be able to sit down and have a talk with that, his mother or father.
Yeah. But
I encountered a lot of kids that's been in the program where some may just come with the mom that may just be involved. A lot of single moms that's trying to do the right thing, keep their kid out of trouble, keep them in the sports, keep them around other kids that's doing some of the same things that can help them. And then you might have some that come in with the grandma. And then you got to sometimes come in with both families. And I'm dealing with kids from the city and the suburbs. Yeah. So sometimes you there and you can look around and see like some of the kids that's affected by not having that father, when they watching a father and son out there shooting together. Yeah. And that kid over there like watching that like for me, I see those things. Yeah. So I have to sit down and figure out what's going on. Hey, what's happening? And then I get to him and say, listen, my dad ain't been, was never around as well. Yeah. But I didn't let that stop me. I don't hold no animosity or grudge towards him or anything.
Same.
My end, and I say that even with dealing with young ladies, don't let those situations stop you, because I say in every part of life for us all that come from difficult upbringings, we have a chance to, thank God, sometimes if we got a chance to get to like school, high school, or we got a parent, whether someone you always hear, stay in school, or if you see it on the news, eventually those things start to stay in your mind. Yeah. And you start to knowing, okay, these are the right things to do. And you have a chance to change it once you get a certain age, where it's like, okay, now you here. Say, okay, the Lord and bless you to get to 21.
Yes, sir.
You saying all these problems continue to happen. All right. Don't you want to change them? Okay, let's start now. Yeah. You have the chance. You don't have to rely on your mom or your dad no more to do it. Yeah. So a lot of those things, like now, with the position I'm in, I always try to look at not just the basketball side, but look at everything.
Because you so big in those kids' life. Because I was one of those kids, like you were saying, that would see my homie dad or the teammate dad, and I'm like, man, I wish my dad was out here type.
Exactly.
What I'm saying? But I always clung so hard to my coaches because I felt like those were the father figures that I had. Around. You know what I'm saying? I'm still cool. I'm 26 years old. I'm still cool with my same coach that I had in the 5th grade. You know what I'm saying? Wow. He's still a father figure type. You know what I'm saying? That still means that much to me. I still want to know if I'm making him proud. You know what I'm saying? From what I'm doing, and that's how that's so important for as a coach. So like, is that what's, because I'm really big on like transitioning from like the playing career to like what you want to do now. So was that always something you want to do, was to get into coaching?
Well, the thing about the number one thing for anybody in their life is a passion after a passion. So your passion could be first is what we do as athletes, is play a sport. That passion lends to the other passion of what we learned and what we've been through, that we almost perfected and graduated to a point where what we learned hands-on with experience the next passion that makes the next job in our life is connected to is the teaching.
Yeah.
Coaching. That's another passion.
Yep.
That's the second passion of when you retire from your playing days, and it's another passion that makes things a lot easier to transition into. So those are two passions that it takes, and that you feel good about. Oh man, this is just amazing because you impacting their life just like someone impacted yours.
Wow.
So you continue to keep doing the same thing.
That's special, yeah.
That helps them as well.
100%. Because I feel like that's what like every, body tells an athlete, oh, you should go into coaching. You should go into coaching. And like me, like I enjoy it because I'm coaching my old high school football team right now. Congrats. So it's different, yeah. So and I always told myself, I'm like, I'm not a coach. I don't got the personality. You know what I'm saying? Kind of just like I feel like my homies who have gotten into coaching, I can tell like right when it was playing, like yo, you'll be a great coach. You know what I'm saying? But me, I always felt like I'm more on the because a lot of my homies are like grad assistants, GA, so they're trying to become obviously head coaches one day.
Okay.
So I told them like once they get on and as a head coach, I just want to be like a player development coach.
Okay.
Like you know what I'm saying? I don't really I'm not a big X's and O's kind of guy like on the field.
Me neither.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a big X's and O's. I'm more of like what's up with you today? Like, are you okay? How are you mentally? You know what I'm saying? How's everything going? Like, how are you as a person? Like as a man? Like I get basketball, football, sports, that's gonna come. You've been doing that forever. But like, how are you mentally? How are you?
So true.
Because I remember my player development coaches. Because I feel like I cling to father figures so much because I've always that father figure's always kind of been in and out. You know what I'm saying? So like I've always saw those men as kind of my own father figures. So they have always been such a big part of my life. And I always seemed like I would love to be that for another kid.
And see, because it's like the same thing. Your upbringing is like a couple ways you could have took that. Like not having that father figure around, but the ones you did happen to be sports guys instead of street guys. Yeah. You could have been either way. Yeah. Street guy could be like, man, you know what, forget this. Come on, Star, get this quick money.
Exactly.
This, and that. So the fact that you adopted it the way you did speaks volumes in terms of your mental focus and your mental toughness on where you want to go with it. See, a lot of people you can say, all right, you didn't play the sport or whatever, or you've been through things or this happened. Yeah. And they can be in that situation and not be strong enough to continue that path, or it don't sway them to say, I'm going to be a mentor. Yeah. I'm going to get back.
Yes, sir.
No, I can sway them to be like, I'm going to go this way, man. This is not, and that takes mental toughness to program yourself, especially at an early age. When you have a million choices to do a million things. Exactly. Compared to when you're older, when you like, hey, I only got a couple choices at this age to get this done. Yeah. So it's two different mindsets.
Yes, sir. Man, and I feel like that mindset is so important because your mindset has obviously led you to where you are today. Yes. Because I feel like it could have went so bad. Obviously, growing up in the environment you did, and then, what I'm saying, the stuff that you went through, a lot of guys don't make it through that. You know what I'm saying?
That's why to this day, and probably as long as I'm living, not never getting a chance to play against Kobe, but being, compared to, one of the greatest basketball players and fathers from what I've seen.
Yes, sir. RP.
It would always be in my head every day because of this. I had an accident that spared my life. And to be fortunate in a situation that happened to him, that part, like, it would never sit well in my mind, the way things, happened with him. And to lose Ambassador, a guy that was doing so much for the game of basketball worldwide, it's something you always say, wow, things can happen in a blink of an eye, and you just don't know. So, yeah, that was tough for me.
Yeah. Wow, yeah, that's special. Yeah, that's and like, yeah. Like that's
it's just like we don't, I think getting a chance to be and playing in other parts of the world and understand the country that we from. We afford so many opportunities. We kind of spoil to so many different things that we can get, reach out to, and have compared to when you're there. And you get a chance to tour parts of these countries and you see areas and you like, this is not happening. This can't be real to be living like this. How do they do it?
Exactly.
And I always say, I see these people out here that's getting change on the accident. That's almost, for those people here that's asking for change, that's like living in the Ritz-Carlton suite.
And those other
compared to those people over there.
Really?
People have no idea what you actually see once you say, all right, I want to see what the town about. Or,
exactly.
That's what used to upset me a little bit about going to South America. Not Venezuela, but Dominican. When I went to Dominican Republic at the time, it was where Big Papi ended up getting shot over there. But to go to certain parts of towns, just touring, when you hear like some of the players I knew that grew up in there, to see the towns are still like bad. And I'm like, that dude just signed a $200 million contract. How many baseball players? Okay, so 4 baseball players close to $1 billion from this country. And they can't rebuild and make our own nice community.
Yeah.
None of that.
Wow.
And we do that. American ball players, we building schools, houses,
and
all this other stuff,
foundations.
And they don't take that much over there for them to do that.
Yeah, and exactly. That's what's crazy. And that's really why I really want to do the abroad, because I've only been abroad once, and I was visiting my friend. But
take
I really
advantage of it.
Yeah,
every opportunity when you go, almost like so a tourist, ask and do a little research on some of these places in their history. But it'll blow your mind when you realize you're like, wow, I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know this.
Exactly.
I get a chance to go to Israel, Turkey, Greece, the Philippines, Uruguay, Venezuela, Lebanon. I happened to leave Lebanon 2 days before they blew up the airport.
What?
Oh, yeah. That's why I tell people, God done put me in some amazing situations to succeed.
Yeah.
Because I remember this. I never forget how I ended up over there. I had to lie to a team to take a bigger deal. But with a FIBA rule, because players was doing it, they stopped it where you banned to go play if you don't be released out of your contract. So I told them I was coming home. They see me on TV playing abroad. And the 2 games into it, they brought me in the office there.
Yeah.
Thank God they did.
Yeah.
Because I was able to get out of there before they blew up their country's airport.
That's crazy. And that, I feel like that's the golden rule of like what's for you is for you. Like it's not gonna miss you.
It's not gonna miss you. You're gonna get the opportunity.
Exactly.
It's just if you wanna drown yourself mentally in life with
what if, what shoulda, coulda, woulda,
that wanna dim the pain that you're dealing with from the past. Sometimes I tell people this. Use that for the strength. Not let me do more prescription drugs. Let me drink more alcohol. I don't want to feel these pain.
Man.
Well, use that as strength.
Because, you gotta deal with that.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
In our society right now, because you can do these things to not think about stuff and to make you feel good for that night, but you ain't doing it just for that night.
Exactly.
What happened? You get addicted. Now you're doing it every night. So now you what you are. So all the focus you probably had to get out of it.
Exactly.
No one but God and yourself can get you out of that hole that you continue to build.
Amen. Nah, that's wow. I mean, I could talk to you all day, but I'm gonna be cautious of your time, too, man. But thank you, man. Chicago legend Ronnie Fields himself, man. Thank you for taking the time out, man. This really means a lot. You dropped so many gems, man. So where can people reach out? Where can people find you?
Easy. You can go, like I said, my Instagram at RonnieFieldsElite.com. You can go to, RonnieFields.com. So those are the places where you see the basketball program. Of course, you can catch me on Facebook,
yes,
Instagram. You know, I post a lot of things that either have to do with sports or some meaning behind it, or you know, those things. But you know, I do speaking engagements. You know, I do mentoring private. You know, especially if parents just single moms that need someone to talk to their sons, or single fathers that need someone to, you know, give a different perspective in life if they're struggling with their kid.
Yes, sir.
Privately, you know, it's nothing to be embarrassed about if you're a mom or dad that having a hard time, because we all have hard times, and you know, and ain't nothing wrong with asking for help.
Exactly, man. So, like y'all said it, y'all heard it, man. Ronnie Fields, man. Thank you for coming to Kicking It with JB. You know, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You know, give a review on Apple and Spotify podcast, man. Thank you again for coming, man. I really
Thanks for having me, boss, man. Anytime.
Thank you, yes, sir. And appreciate y'all for showing love.